A man proclaimed himself the brother of Christ. 30 million died. In the mid-19th century, China stood on the edge of catastrophe. Few realized how close the empire was to collapse. The Qing Empire ruled vast lands across Asia. Its authority stretched thin over millions of restless subjects. Population had exploded in previous centuries. Farmland and opportunity grew increasingly scarce. Many farmers struggled to survive. Heavy taxes and corrupt officials worsened their misery. China's weakness became obvious after defeat in the First Opium War. Foreign powers forced humiliating treaties. The once powerful Qing dynasty now appeared vulnerable. Unrest quietly spread through the countryside. Secret societies and local movements began forming. People searched for hope in desperate times. Among the poor and frustrated was a young man named Hong Xiuquan. His life would soon change history. Hong Xiuquan was a schoolteacher and aspiring scholar. He dreamed of passing the imperial examinations. The imperial exams promised status and power. Countless young men competed for a few positions. Hong took the exams several times and failed repeatedly. Each result crushed his ambitions. After another failure, Hong fell into illness and despair. Strange visions began filling his dreams. In his visions, Hong believed he ascended to heaven. Mysterious figures spoke to him there. The visions told Hong he must destroy demons on Earth. A divine mission awaited him. Years later, Hong read Christian pamphlets from missionaries. Suddenly, his visions made sense. Hong came to a shocking conclusion about himself. He believed he was the younger brother of Jesus. From this strange belief, a movement slowly formed. It would soon shake all of China. Chapter 2. The Birth of a Heavenly Kingdom. Hong Xiuquan gathered followers who believed his visions. They formed a new religious movement called the God-worshipping Society. The movement spread rapidly among poor farmers. Many believed Hong's message offered salvation and justice. Thousands joined the movement within a few years. Desperation made Hong's message powerful. The Qing authorities grew alarmed by the movement. They feared rebellion was beginning. Tensions escalated as clashes broke out between believers and local officials. Violence slowly spread across the region. In 1851, Hong Xiuquan declared open rebellion against the Qing dynasty. The uprising had begun. Hong proclaimed the creation of a new state. It was called the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. The rebels believed they were building a holy society, one that would cleanse China of corruption. The Taiping movement introduced radical rules for society. Many traditions were suddenly banned. Opium smoking and alcohol were outlawed immediately. Strict discipline became part of daily life. The movement also promoted unusual equality for the era. Women could serve in military units. The Taiping armies quickly grew stronger. Thousands of new soldiers joined the cause. Rebel forces began capturing towns across southern China. Qing defenses struggled to stop them. Victory after victory boosted rebel confidence. Their movement began looking unstoppable. The rebellion soon transformed into a massive army. It now threatened the heart of the Qing Empire. The rebels set their sights on a major target, the historic city of Nanjing. Chapter 3. The Heavenly Capital. The Taiping army marched north toward Nanjing. Their growing forces terrified the Qing defenders. After fierce fighting, the rebels breached the city walls. Qing resistance quickly collapsed. In 1853, the Taiping forces captured Nanjing. It became the center of their new kingdom. Hong Xiuquan renamed the city Tianjin. It meant the heavenly capital. The new capital became headquarters for the Taiping state. Millions now lived under its rule. The Taiping government reorganized society completely. Strict laws guided everyday life. Land reforms promised equal distribution for farming families. Many peasants supported the policy. The new kingdom also enforced strict religious practices. Worship ceremonies became common. The Taiping leadership created a complex hierarchy. Several powerful kings ruled under Hong. At its height, the Taiping army numbered hundreds of thousands. Its strength shocked the Qing government. The rebels launched new campaigns from their capital. They pushed deeper into Qing territory. Columns of Taiping soldiers marched across central China. Entire regions fell under their control. The Qing dynasty struggled to respond quickly. Imperial forces were poorly organized. Meanwhile, life inside Tianjin grew more rigid. Strict discipline shaped the daily routine. Despite its power, the Taiping kingdom faced growing problems. Rivalry slowly emerged among its leaders. These internal tensions would soon erupt violently. The rebellion was about to turn on itself. Chapter 4. War consumes China. The Taiping Rebellion expanded across vast regions of China. Entire provinces were engulfed by war. Massive armies clashed repeatedly across fields and towns. The scale of violence shocked observers. Cities became battlegrounds as rebels attempted to seize strategic positions across the country. Civilians suffered terribly during the conflict. Famine and displacement spread rapidly. The Qing dynasty realized its regular army was failing. New regional forces began forming. One of the most important commanders was Zhang Guofan. He organized the powerful Xiang army. The Xiang army trained rigorously and slowly pushed back against Taiping forces. The war soon involved foreign interests as Western powers watched China's chaos carefully. Some Western adventurers joined Qing forces to help fight the rebels. New military tactics appeared. The most famous foreign-led unit became the ever-victorious army. It fought alongside Qing forces. Battles became increasingly brutal as both sides fought desperately for survival. Millions of civilians were trapped between the armies, disease and starvation spread rapidly. Entire regions of China were devastated by the fighting, fertile farmland turned into wasteland. Despite terrible losses, the Taiping armies continued fighting, their leaders refused to surrender. The Qing government gradually gained momentum in the war, stronger armies began surrounding rebel territory. The conflict dragged on year after year with enormous destruction. China had become one vast battlefield. Chapter 5. The kingdom turns on itself. Despite military strength, the Taiping leadership became divided. Rival leaders struggled for power. The most powerful leaders controlled separate armies. Their rivalry slowly poisoned the government. Suspicion and paranoia spread through the leadership. Trust between commanders began to collapse. The conflict exploded during a violent purge known as the Tianjin Incident. Thousands would soon die. One faction accused another of betrayal and treason. Brutal executions followed immediately. Fighting broke out between rebel factions inside the capital. The once united kingdom shattered. The violence spread rapidly to the city. Thousands of rebels killed each other. Entire neighborhoods turned into battle zones. Loyalists and rivals fought house by house. The purge destroyed much of the rebellion's leadership. Experienced commanders were suddenly gone. Hong Xiuquan remained the supreme leader of the movement, yet he withdrew deeper into isolation. Instead of leading armies personally, Hong relied on new advisors. Many lacked experience. The rebellion lost many skilled generals during the purge. Its military strength weakened. Qing forces noticed the chaos within the rebel capital. They began tightening their strategy. Regional Qing armies slowly surrounded Taiping territory. The kingdom began shrinking. While enemies closed in, Hong Xiuquan focused on religious visions. Practical leadership faded. The rebellion that once threatened the Qing Empire now faced collapse. Its final battles were approaching. Chapter 6. The Fall of the Heavenly Capital. Qing forces tightened their encirclement of the city. Supply routes slowly disappeared. Inside the capital, conditions worsened rapidly. Food shortages began spreading among civilians. Hong Xiuquan refused to surrender the city. He insisted divine protection would save them. The population of Tianjin struggled to survive the siege. Hunger and disease spread quickly. Qing artillery began bombarding the city defenses. Explosions shattered sections of the ancient walls. Taiping soldiers fought desperately to defend their capital. They prepared for a final stand. The siege dragged on for months with relentless attacks. Exhaustion consumed the defenders. During the final months, Hong Xiuquan fell seriously ill. Leadership inside the city faltered. Shortly before the city fell, Hong Xiuquan died. His followers kept the news secret. Without strong leadership, the remaining commanders struggled. The defense of Tianjin weakened. In July 1864, Qing forces launched their final assault. Massive explosions opened the walls. Qing troops poured into the city through the breaches. Brutal street fighting erupted. The defenders fought fiercely but were overwhelmed. Organized resistance collapsed quickly. After capturing the capital, Qing forces carried out massive reprisals. Thousands were executed. The once powerful Taiping Heavenly Kingdom was destroyed. Its capital lay in ruins. After 14 years of war, the rebellion ended in 1864. Millions across China had perished. Chapter 7. The Aftermath and Legacy. When the rebellion finally ended, much of central China lay devastated. Entire regions were ruined. Millions had died during the 14 years of fighting. The true number may never be known. The death toll of the Taiping Rebellion rivaled the deadliest wars in history. Few outside China remember it. The Qing dynasty survived the rebellion but emerged deeply weakened, its authority permanently damaged. Regional commanders who defeated the Taiping gained enormous influence. Power shifted away from the central government. New regional armies like the Siang Army became permanent forces. They changed China's military structure. The devastation forced Qing leaders to consider reforms. Modernization slowly began. Foreign influence in China continued growing after the rebellion. Western nations expanded their presence. The rebellion also inspired later revolutionaries. They studied its successes and failures. Some later leaders saw the Taiping movement as an early revolution. Its ideas influenced future uprisings. The rebellion revealed how fragile the Qing Empire had become. Internal unrest could nearly destroy it. Within decades, new rebellions and revolutions would challenge Qin rule again. The dynasty's decline continued. The Taiping Rebellion remains one of the largest civil wars ever fought. Its scale reshaped Chinese history. It began with the visions of one man and ended with the deaths of millions. The story of the Taiping Rebellion reminds us how powerful belief can be and how destructive it can become. Chapter 8. Why the Taiping Rebellion Matters. The Taiping Rebellion changed China forever. Its destruction reshaped the country's future. The war weakened the Qing dynasty more than any previous rebellion. Imperial authority never fully recovered. Local military leaders gained enormous influence during the war. Regional armies became powerful political forces. This shift in power permanently altered the balance within the empire. Central authority slowly eroded. The rebellion also revealed deep social tensions within China. Millions of peasants had risen against the system. New ideas about reform and modernization gained attention. Leaders realized China must adapt. The war also showed how foreign technology could influence Chinese warfare. Western weapons changed battles. The devastation left lasting scars on the countryside. Generations would remember the destruction. Later revolutionaries studied the rebellion carefully. They saw it as a warning and an inspiration. Some admired the movement's challenge to authority, others feared the chaos it created. The rebellion also introduced radical social ideas for its time. Equality and reform were openly discussed. These ideas would echo through later political movements, shaping China's revolutionary century. The Taiping Rebellion proved how fragile empires could be. Even the largest states could nearly collapse.